Yes, so myself and Myra will take you through a deep dive today into some of the features that if you had attended yesterday's session, you would have heard from Sean and Pekka, who gave you that overview over all of the features that should be available for back to school next year. And today, myself and Myra will dive deep into two main features. One is our AI features, and the second is self-study features on the Kahoot platform. And I'm located in Oslo, Norway. I'm Irish, and Myra is in Paris, France. So welcome everybody. I see there's people from all over the world, Italy and Oklahoma, Ohio, California. Yeah, lots of people from all over the world. So welcome everybody. And we hope to share with you some of the great features that are actually currently available on the platform, and a little bit of a taste of some of the things that will be available later in the year for back to school. So yes, let's get started. So on AI, we've been building out our suite of features for AI, whether it's in creation of Kahoots or in hosting or in self-study or in report analysis. And really, we've been looking at AI as a way to enhance learning outcomes or to save time for teachers. And when it comes to saving time, the Kahoot AI generator has gotten a new lift. If you've already had access or have seen the feature from before, we've a new and improved version that just got released this week, which I'll demo live today. And it's really about generating ready-to-play Kahoots in seconds. And we have the ability to generate from a prompt, from a PDF. So you can, if you have a book or you have some notes, you can generate a full Kahoot from that content. So you have a trusted source passed into the model. We will also support URL generation. So if you paste in a URL to a web page, you will generate a full Kahoot from the content on that web page. And then lastly, something that Sean showcased yesterday, and I'll repeat it again today for those of you who missed it, scanned notes, which is fantastic both for students and for teachers. And I'll share a little bit about that in a moment. So yes, that's a little bit of a taste of what we'll demo today. But just to highlight what we really were trying to achieve, I think this quote from Juliana Keys, a teacher, really sums it up. I just learned Kahoot had added an AI feature. I could upload my study guide and it made an entire review game for class tomorrow. What will I do with my 2 hours of free time tonight? And I'm sure all teachers out there can really relate to this. So we hope we can make your lives a little bit easier with our new generator. So with that, I'll switch right over to a live demo. So here we have an EDU user logged into the platform. We click create, and now you're presented with a few options. You can start from a blank canvas, as normal. We have a group of templates if you want a kind of starting point with templates. And then we have two generation options. One is from a prompt, and the second one is from a PDF. So I can start with generating from a prompt. So if I type in London, for example, here, you can see some of the options you have. You can choose a format. So we have, mixed up the types of questions that are used in a quiz format compared to a presentation format. So a quiz format is about, assessment. It's multiple choice questions. It's all of the questions that you get points for. Whereas a presentation mixes up a greater mix of, slides and questions as well. But it's all about kind of introducing a topic. And we'll build out these formats plus more topics and more formats over the coming weeks and months. But I'll start with a quiz format, and then you can see you can actually generate in different languages, and you can choose, a skill level or a grade level to choose. So if I generate content based on London, so here it's passing the prompt into a model, and it's generating questions on the fly here about London. And we've tried to create now a full playable Kahoot where all the questions make sense in sequence. So we start with a poll, so to get a discussion started in the class. How many times have you visited London? What is the official currency of London? And then we've added some slides to kind of enrich the experience. An interesting fact, the Tower Bridge in London is not only an iconic landmark, but also a movable bridge that allows ships to pass through. Which of the following is a famous museum in London? It is the British Museum. There's a bit of a giveaway in the name. Did you know the red telephone booths are a symbol of London and can still be found in some parts of the city? So this is just a taste of some of the types of questions that are automatically generated with fantastic images from Getty images and on Splash, so to enrich the experience. So now you can see there's been 20 questions generated here from the prompt. I can add all of these 20 questions to my Kahoot, and then you can see what they look like when you when you preview this. You can see what that experience will actually be like when you present the class. So here are some of the question types and how they are looking when it's auto-generated from AI. Yes, we can try a second prompt just to give you another sample. When you click on the PDF to Kahoot, I have a ready to go PDF here. It's a quite text-heavy PDF about astronomy. A quite recent event was the solar or the eclipse. So here's a chapter about the solar eclipse, very text-heavy. How can I enrich this and really kind of, translate this over to my students in a more engaging format? Well, Kahoot to the rescue. You can add a PDF to the generator. You can choose the chapter of choice. I have done this before, so I think it's from 278. So you choose all the pages. You can choose a range down here if you want, for just for illustrative purposes. I'll select a bunch of pages individually, and then you click generate, or continue in this case, and it'll generate those questions on the fly. So again, it's a quiz format, language is English intermediate, and now it's using the source of that chapter, passing it into a large language model, and it's generating a full Kahoot based on the content that you passed it in. So here another poll question: have you witnessed a solar lunar eclipse? This is probably good advice, why you should never look directly at the sun during an eclipse. Did you know the longest total solar eclipse of the 21st century occurred on July 22nd, 2009, and lasted for a maximum of 6 minutes and 39 seconds? So yes, so here you go. You can see all of the different questions generated here, and it's still generating questions down at the bottom. So yes, and still with AI, you can't trust it. We have ensured that there's a human in the loop, so that you have the chance to validate the output here before you save your Kahoot and present it to your class, or enrich the Kahoot with more questions manually after it's been generated. But just to give you another sample, if I change this to a presentation, and for example, I actually can't speak French, but let's see what happens if I try generate the same content in French at an intermediate level in a presentation format. So here you go. Here's another poll question to start off with in French for any of you French speakers out there. And then it's got a full French Kahoot generated on the fly from an English sourced textbook. So yeah, and it's still generating questions here. So you can look at it in a list view, or you can look at it in a full-on slide view to validate. So you can add these questions on the fly, or you can wait till all the questions are generated before you add them all to your Kahoot. Yes, so that is our Kahoot generator. It's available for Kahoot EDU and Kahoot Max users, but we have exciting news. We hope to give more of this away to lower subscription tiers in the coming weeks and months, so stay tuned for that. Right, that is our Kahoot AI generator. The next one to showcase is, and it's a repeat of what Sean showcased yesterday, is scanning notes. This is both good for students and for teachers. If a teacher wants to scan a textbook or notes they previously have written down, here you have a chemistry student scanning their notes, which is quite dense, you can see. So they're not great pictures, but the feature is able to extract the text from those handwritten notes, convert it into a Kahoot, and you have now a ready to play Kahoot. Again, we encourage people to validate the output, select the question types that you would like to add to your Kahoot for either self-study from a student's perspective, or from a teacher presenting to an audience. And then I'll give a little bit of a sneak peek here to a feature that Myra will soon demo in this new practice or micro lesson format. You can self-study. Now you've got the Chemistry 101 Kahoot. You choose practice, and here you go. You've got this social media type interface where you can swipe between the different questions, and you can study the content from your scanned notes. So we hope, again, this will save a lot of time for both students and teachers, whether it's a teacher hosting content for a student, or sharing the content with a student, or a student for self-study. Yes. So that's a sample of some of the AI features that are actually currently on the platform. The scanned notes will be available in just a couple of weeks. And with that, I'll pass it over to Myra, who will share more about our engaging self-study experience. Over to you, Myra.
Thanks, Parik. Honestly, I wish I had the AI note scanner when I was still studying. It looks super amazing. I'm here to show you some cool new other updates for the self-study experience. We want the students to really take ownership of their own learning. So this year we have been improving the self-study modes. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of Kahoots created by our amazing educators, and they can be, of course, played solo as well. There is a great lineup of solo game modes that you might have tried already in your classrooms: the treasure trove, the chill art, tallest tower, and of course the classic mode. And now we have released flashcards as well, and the new practice game mode that Parik kind of gave a sneak peek already. So any Kahoot can also be launched in these two new study modes, and I will demo both in a second. Let's go to the next slide. Yep, so in addition to these new solo study modes, we have also our solo math games coming to web for back to school. We have already duck fractions, pop-up multiplications, and we collaborated with the wonderful Peanuts team to make a version of the fraction game starring Snoopy and Woodstock, but I will show it more a bit later. We have two new games coming for back to school as well. If we can go back to the previous slide, thanks. One is about equations, and one is the web version of numbers, which is one of the most popular learning apps we have. I will show a few games for you as well during this session, and share links for the chat where you can try them yourselves. And now we can move ahead to our agenda for this short session. First, I will show you the new practice mode with a micro learning lesson. And we have an example Olympic lesson QR code on the bottom of the slide. You can take you can scan it and play it already by yourself, and we will try to put it in the chat as well. It's a new learning lesson format, perfect for phone especially. After that, we will look at the new flashcards and new improved flashcards and how to share them to students. The students don't need a login anymore to use the solo game modes. It's a new update that a lot of teachers have requested. And at the end, I will show a few math game solo progressions and get you playing some of those games as well. Okay, sounds good? Let's go, and I will share my screen. Here, I hope you're seeing what I am seeing. So this is a Kahoot combining slides and questions about the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris, in fact. And I click play solo. And here is the new practice mode. Here you can see all the solo game modes available, the flashcards already available, and I will just start it in a practice mode. You can see it's optimized for phone usage, and you can easily swipe to read the story. So this is about 92 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. Derek Redmond was starting in a good position, but unfortunately he fell to the floor midway. He had torn his hamstring muscle. He was in terrible pain, but decided to finish the race anyway. The sprinter could barely walk. There was no way he was going to cross the finish line, but he still persisted. Unexpectedly, an older man appeared on the track. It was his dad. He leaned on his father's shoulder and they kept going. Then we have a little quiz question. According to the rules, yep, you cannot have help. He was disqualified, but they continued. The audience stood up and cheered for them. Finally, they managed to cross the finish line together. He's now retired, and his dad, Jim, was one of the torchbearers at the London Olympics. And how did he finish the race? Oh, he was disqualified. So he never got a medal, but I'm sure he won our hearts. And we are at the end of this micro lesson. And you can see, you can swipe back and forth to find the information you need from the slides. And it's combining nicely information, text, pictures with the normal Kahoot quiz questions, you know. There is no podium, there is no point. So you can see it's very quick to do. I would imagine it would be amazing for students to have them do something in a flipped classroom style, have them read something to the lesson, and then when we are together in a classroom, use that time together to discuss and extend the questions, and have them be at the same level of knowledge in a topic. So this was the new practice mode, also this new micro-learning format. Next, I will hop on and show the flashcards. So I've selected one of the Kahoots from the platform made by a wonderful educator. This might be your Kahoot for the end of the unit review. You could share a Kahoot by sharing an URL or sharing it from here, from the menu. But if you click Play Solo, and in fact, share this URL to the students, your students don't need to log in. So they can play anonymously. So they don't need to create accounts. They don't need to remember their passwords. They can jump into practice mode immediately. So that's a wonderful thing to keep in mind. So I click flashcards. It's very simple, very basic. Every question is here with the picture. If I tap it, I see the answer, and it's really testing me. Now I don't see the answer options anymore. I really need to know if I can really see if I know it, if I don't know it. What is the name of the fluid inside a cell? Let's say I knew it, but I honestly didn't. I swipe right. Whatever I know, I swipe right. If I'm unsure, I can check, obviously. Whatever I don't know, I swipe left, and it goes back to the stack. And it comes again and again and again. And from the bottom, I can see how many I've known and how many I've not completed yet. So a very simple way for students to assess what they know and be sure that they know the things they know for the maybe upcoming exams. I will just exit. A really nice way to then jump into, maybe you need to practice a little bit more. Maybe a student wants to practice with the game modes and then go back to the flashcards. Here I can see that I've completed some, I knew some, but still there is cards to be played, and I can play again and again until I'm very confident. Okay, then we've done the micro-learning format, the new practice mode, flashcards. Remember, any Kahoot can be played as a flashcard or a practice mode. We jump in to the math games. And I wonder if somebody can send the link to pop-up multiplications to the chat so people can try it out themselves. That would be amazing. The intent for these math games is that you don't need to find content for a specific math topic. We have created a progression for you as well. Think of it as a game inside Kahoot platform that students can come in and start playing and continue playing. There are sessions in each world, and you get stars when you complete a session. When you get enough stars, you open and unlock new worlds that get gradually more and more difficult. Here I've unlocked world 2, that is the beach land. I haven't yet gotten the next world stars and the next ones and the next ones. So let's go back to the one that is already unlocked. Maybe this one. This I got 3 stars, so I go to the next one. The game interactions are a little bit different for each game. In this game, I take a little creature and I need to get 4 by 4. The goal is on the top. I can explore a little bit and then I release. Voila. And I get points and I continue. There is 8 levels in this session. Oh, wow. I think that academic, no, I thought I made a mistake, but no, I didn't. And after I completed eight levels, I get stars. I continue the gameplay. All content is ready-made. It's like figuring out multiplication through arrays. So that was pop-up multiplication. Next, I will show you Snoopy Fractions, which was a collaboration with the Peanuts team. There is Woodstock and Snoopy, and it's about fractions, basically. And they are tough for kids. So this is allowing them to practice in a fun way. And each game, like I said, has a little bit of a different way to play. This one is a circle divided in fourths, in four. So I have to get to Woodstock. So I need to think a little bit. So I have 2/4 to Woodstock and 1/4 back to the flag. Let's see. Yep. Settle. And onto the space, we are launched. Perfect. This one will be to the Woodstock. Can you see? Maybe it's 2/4. Yes. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Now I need to get back. Yes. So students can really explore different kind of fractions, number lines, circle models, test and try out what happens, what kind of a size is the jump, and they get progressively more difficult as well. Our game Duck Duck Fractions is also of the same topic, and Snoopy is just a very fun way of enjoying fraction games. Finally, we have numbers on web, which has similar progression. We have several levels. This is for younger learners, kindergarten grade 1. We have a lot of puzzles. You have to get some stars to unlock new worlds. They get progressively more difficult. They are ready-made. Let's try this one and see what happens. So in this game, you have to create little number creatures. And here they come. This little tiny one is Noom 1. He eats another one, becomes 1 + 1, 2. 2 + 1 is 3, 4, 5, and 6. We could go all the way up to 10 as well. And we see a number 6, we can slice it in different ways to see how numbers can be decomposed and composed to other numbers. And this is a puzzle game that you just have to find the right pieces to complete a picture. And it's one of the, oops, it's not right, but this is correct. Complete a picture and then move on to next levels. And the kind of number characters you get, it's really pushing you to think a bit of strategies in a fun way and play with numbers, have fun with math. Is that something, we don't want the kids to be afraid of math. We want them to love it and find it like a puzzle game. Perfect. So I completed that one and got a star. So let's see if I managed to remember everything. Yes. So Porik showed you the AI generator. It's for all of you teachers. It saves your time. Your time is valuable. Take care of yourselves. And I went through the practice format, which is swipeable, super fast way to go through Kahoots and content on your phone. And micro-learning lesson format, which combines slides and Kahoot questions that can become like a story almost that you consume and play through. Flashcards, new and improved for memorization, a wonderful new tool for the self-study experience. And then I showed you the math games that bring a kind of like a full game of math in the Kahoot that you can allow kids to just play and progress through and learn and have fun and get confident and try like a little puzzle games to practice their problem solving skills. I wish everyone is going to have an amazing summer. I wish you're going to have a relaxing summer vacations. We have an amazing summer deal as well for June. And I hope you'll be relaxed and I will see you back to school with these new amazing features.